So today I thought I would just let the Light No Fire trailer play for those of you who haven't seen it, as I sort of just talk about things I'm generally excited for, things that I really want to be in the game, for those of you who have seen it. So it will be on loop. We'll probably play it like a couple times as I sort of just blab. Here's the first shot. Whoa, check that out. Render distance is crazy. It's a procedural generated Earth. It's a multiplayer Earth and it's a fantasy Earth, as it claims right away. And unexplored as the fourth, baby. So this is really exciting because No Man's Sky never really got the multiplayer down so well. Hello Games has, vastly improved it, and it's a love letter to the gaming industry. What Hello Games has managed to do with No Man's Sky. I think it's like 28 or 29 free updates over the span of 8 years since it's been released, and I think the game has been up to speed. Beautiful shot here if you're seeing this for the first time. So, guys, what are the biggest things that I want to see in the game? I think that there's probably three things that I hugely want. One, I want there to be a sort of checklist type of progression. Sort of a, if you think of games like RuneScape, and things are separated into activities and what skill you're doing at the time, that's kind of cool, because maybe you want to specialize in something and it takes such a ridiculously long time to hit max level. Maybe you want to be a fishing guy and you can raise your fishing level, right? Perhaps Light No Fire erases numbers or goes away with numbers and doesn't do a leveling system like that at all. Well, maybe stages. Maybe something. It doesn't have to be numbers because it's not quite as immersive or realistic, right? This is sort of an organic, animal-based fantasy, grounded fantasy, if you will. But I want there to be stages of progression that are substantial, rewarding, and take a long time, so people can really bite down into this game, invest in it, and be proud of investing that time, right? One thing about No Man's Sky that happened was with the multiplayer, you could sort of glitch and copy items, which would totally warp and distort the player economy of the game. Now, if the player economy, if player-driven economy is part of this game, that would be amazing, but they need to make sure that you can't duplicate items, right? They need to make sure on a fundamental level that there aren't huge game-breaking bugs to give some players a huge advantage while oppressing and frustrating others, right? So that's sort of it, is a good multiplayer that works, okay. A skill list, right? Activities that are separated into things that you can eventually level up, whether it be in the form of weapons, like in Minecraft, where you don't necessarily level up your mining skill, but you level up which pickaxe you have, right? And I guess third would be, because it was kind of two blended together, the shiny Pokemon theorem, I like to call it. So collectivity that has the chance to be remarkable, right? Everything you do and everything you collect, maybe it has a chance to be a mystic item, or a legendary item, or an S-tier item like No Man's Sky. Take the squid ships from No Man's Sky, right? Those are so incredibly rare, but every time you're at a station, you're keeping your eye out for one. So even if you're at the station doing nothing, at least you feel like your time is being spent towards something. You're looking for that treasure, right? So say you have to do a bunch of mundane tasks to build your house, to progress, which is fine, as part of games. That's how humans relate to a sense of reward. Time investment into reward, into progression, into tangible things we can collect and stuff, right? Or be like, we can point to and be like, that's ours. So here's the ending side again. Beautiful stuff. We love it. So it should replay one more time. I think that'll be about perfect amount of time. Here we have a shot with 4 people, which is really exciting right away. So they're emphasizing the multiplayer, right? Are we going to have dungeons? Are we going to have things like that big globe, or the maze thing you see towards the end? Are those going to be instance-based, that you can go in with a bunch of people? Maybe it's a procedurally generated dungeon. The dungeon layout is different. The rooms are different. The items and weapons and things you can find in those rooms are different. The rewards are different. Maybe the attacks and behaviors of the enemies are different, right? Different levels of difficulty. To say like you find a really hard dungeon and you can't necessarily go through it right away, well, maybe you can just come back to it once you're stronger. I want there to be an actual power progression that feels substantial beyond that No Man's Sky reached. I want to spend hundreds, perhaps thousands of hours into this game. And I want to eventually point and be like, well, after finally 2,000 hours, I have accomplished this. It's just the only way you can do it is investing the time. Of course, there's creative mode, there's different modes, things like that. I would imagine, perhaps. Maybe not in this game, though. But everything is on one world. So I want to see how the multiplayer instance-based group activities perform. And I want to see that excitement out the gate and what that really means to be the first person to a place, right? And putting your name down on a place, right? I think that'd be really interesting. I think this game has so much almost limitless potential. I'm so excited to see what happens. And it looks very related to No Man's Sky with the red and the atlas and the compass / guiding light figure here. But guys, I'm going to leave you with that. I wanted to get the juices flowing. Thank you so much for your support. I hugely appreciate it. If you can like the video, I'll love you forever. And I will see you in the next one. Light no fire stuff, magic stuff, all the jazz. Take care, guys.